Good morning, friends. Hope you're doing well today. Hope this finds you healthy, happy, excited, giddy for the weekend because it's upon us. It's Friday, which means that Final Four this weekend, the madness is here. Just wanted to touch base today to kind of discuss a little bit about honesty, telling the truth. Here we go. So, I'm studying in my little 12 and 12 today, and it occurred to me that I can still be kind of full of shit. Let me expand on the idea. So I posted in my Twitter feed today a little thing that I came across yesterday. I wish I could have found the tweet, remembered the tweet, quoted the tweet, and given credit where it was due, but I couldn't. So I paraphrased it to the best of my ability, and it basically reads like this. Sobriety isn't about quitting drinking. Sobriety is about loving yourself so much that you don't have to drink. Wow. Man, oh man. Never ceases to amaze me how this stuff just continues to find me and land in my lap and just explode in my psyche. These ideas are just powerful, fascinating things, and that I get to see them and share them with you is such a blessing for me. Getting to know yourself means you gotta stop being full of shit, right? Not you personally, I mean just in general. Getting to know myself means that I have to stop being full of shit, right? Like, I think back to my own kids, and I won't throw them under the bus, but suffice to say that, you know, they still struggle, they're still kids, they're still learning what the world's about. One of the things that we dealt with early on, and I'm so grateful that, you know, my kid thought enough to come to me and be honest as young as he was, but he talked about how he would tell lies to his friends. Oh yeah, I've been to Disneyland. Oh yeah, my parents take me to Disneyland, right? He would tell lies to his friends, but oh, my life is so hard. It's such a struggle at home. It's so difficult. I mean, I was making $30 an hour at Freightliner buying these kids PSPs, buying them Xboxes, buying them the latest, greatest Nintendo DS, the latest, greatest iPhone. Like, my kids did not struggle. They didn't want for much, and they continue to not want for much. Compared to a lot of kids in a lot of places all over this planet, my kids are doing just fine. They're living at home, for God's sakes. I mean, you know, life isn't tragic for them. But when you think in the grand scheme of things, you know, in the bullshit universe that we live in, there's always that competitiveness, right? That competition. And that's what they were dealing with in grade school. And like any other kid, any other day of the week, the competition is real, right? I went to Disneyland this week. Oh, we've been to Disneyland 4 times. Kid's never been to Disneyland a day in his life, but he wants to pitch that idea. So that my child thought enough to bring that truth home and say, yeah, you know, I was telling this lie. I'm so grateful. That's not something I would have done. I held firm to the lie as long as I could, right? That's not really what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is the perpetuation of the lie, of the bullshit, to the point where I'm believing my own bullshit, where I'm consumed by it, where I can't see the light of day for all the darkness I've created, right? And those of us in addiction, those of us living with alcoholism, those of us living this life, we know that darkness. We know that darkness all too well. Getting to know ourselves means being able to own that, being able to take ownership of it, not being ashamed of it, not being consumed by the shame, just owning it for what it is. It's bullshit, it's lies, it's a completely fabricated idea and story that we ourselves are responsible for. It seems like a daunting, impossible task at first, but once we clear away that wreckage, once we move it out of the way, and we see the light on the other side, and we recognize how painless it can be to take ownership of that for what it is and move forward, everything begins to change. I want to share this one with you. I think I talked about it in a previous video, but it's my notebook. It's right here. These guys have probably seen it in lots of videos. I'm just going to keep it right here. It's some notes that I made. I wish I could even tell you the date. I'm sure I was probably doing some transcription, like transcribing some of the notes in the notebooks that I've kept over the years, and these ideas just popped into my head. And whether it was for another piece that I wanted to read or write or something, I really don't know. But either way, this is just the kind of stuff that falls out of my brain. And I wrote it down. 5 reasons why I got sober. Episode 1. I might have had a video in mind here. I don't know. It seems like I did. But either way, 5 reasons I got sober. Episode 1. 1. My life was shit. Welfare. Couldn't pay the bills. Begging and mooching food. I had Sarah do that for me. No money. Begging for money, rides. I had shit jobs. I was on EI. Sarah was miserable. My daughter Lisa still was not in my life. Number 2, I knew it could be better. Number 3, I knew where the help was. Number 4, my marriage needed help. Number 5, my kids. I needed to be a better parent, a better person. To learn I could be a better dad. To find out how lucky I was to have such an amazing opportunity as these children. And then I go on here, sobriety day 1, remember what that day was like. Sobriety week 1, what my first meetings, first friends were. Looks like I did that. My early experiences, looks like I made those videos too. And then my backstory, I think I've done that too. So, I mean, a lot of these things that I made notes about have kind of come to fruition. But here's my point today. Like, the bullshit that I wrote in that thing was, for me, relentless. Of course my life was shit. Of course I was, on welfare. Of course I was. Like, here's the truth. The absolute truth. I knew I was drunk. I knew it. I knew that full well. Every day that I continued to walk forward in those steps, putting my family through that shit, putting my children through that, robbing them of their father, robbing my wife of the husband she deserved, robbing my sisters of the brother that they deserved to have. Every single day, I knew it. I knew it at the core of my being. Probably from the first time I got miserably stinking drunk, I knew exactly what the problem was. I knew it because I lived it with my father. And it was full-on denial up until the minute I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous on January 15th, 1997, and finally just gave it up and owned the fact that I needed help and I knew where to find it. That's just all bullshit. I mean, it's just bullshit reasons that I'm picking off the tree as if they mean anything. I knew I was a drunk. I knew it 100%. That's the beauty of getting to know yourself in this program. That's the beauty. Knowing who I am full well and loving myself. Loving every single part of it. I love all the brokenness. I love all the beauty. I love everything in between. Falling in love with myself so deeply that I don't need anything to make me happy. I've got me. I've got knowledge of me. I've got a connection with who I am. I've got a connection with who I am because of my personal relationship with a power greater than myself. It doesn't have to be your power. It doesn't have to be anybody's power. It doesn't have to be Muslim, Catholic, Baptist, Lutheran. It doesn't have to be any of those things. It has to be mine. It has to be my power greater than myself. My relationship with God as I understand God. And through that relationship, I found me. And I love me today. I love the fact that I can still be full of shit and own it here with you in the ether. It doesn't make me less. It doesn't make me worse. It makes me just human, and that's okay. So I think I'm going to call that one today. It's a quick one and it's a short one, but I wanted to put that one out there. I stumbled on those notes at the very, very beginning of this YouTube channel. I think there was like 4 or 5 videos, and that probably was something I was thinking of back then. Now that I pull it out and I look at it, that whole surviving 17 thing, that the banner still is up there. I was probably trying to, motivate myself to get the writing done, because that's the idea for the book I've kind of had, that I could, compile it all into one book type thing and then pass it on to my kids. So that was motivation for videos and things back then. But at any rate, man, I was grateful to come across it. I was grateful to stumble on that little piece of gold and share it with you guys today. So it works, friends, if we work it one day at a time. And I'm grateful, man. I love you guys. I care for you guys. I'm cheering you on, man. And have a great weekend. Alrighty. It works, guys. Take care. Bye.